Okay, so I just wanted to hop on here really quick and do a quick little Astro update. So today is December 30th, 2024. So we're in the dark of the Capricorn new moon. So this is the last new moon of the year. It's going to close out the astrology of 2024 and set up the astrology of 2025. So what you're looking at right now is the current transits in my location. Actually, let's update it to now, because why not? Why not use the freshest data? So we've got, it's just about noon where I am, and you can see that the sun and the moon are pretty close to the midheaven because it's about noon. And the moon is just a little under a degree away from the sun. So we're still in the dark moon. We're not at the new moon yet. The new moon, I believe, will be at 2:26 p.m. Pacific time today. But we're in the energy right now. So the biggest things that I notice about the transits right now, we have Mars retrograde, as we have all gotten very well used to at this point. Still in the early degrees of Leo, isn't going to move into Cancer until January, I believe the 8th. Sorry, let me check. 6th. Mars will move back into Cancer. But before that, it's going to form another exact opposition with Pluto, because Pluto's in Aquarius, Mars is in Leo, so they're in exact opposition. It's just a little over a degree apart right now, so it's very crunchy energy that we're all in. That opposition will be exact on the 2nd. And then Mars will move back into Cancer on the 6th. Crunchy. The thing that this energy, I know I mentioned this on Threads before, but this whole Luigi situation, this whole like the adjuster, whether or not they're the same person, remains to be seen, but it's very Mars-Pluto coded, right? Because Mars is the energy of action, it's the energy of murder, taking action to kill, to make irreversible changes using like weaponry, right? Mars, that's all. And it's very showy, right? I'm not going to go into Luigi's chart because we don't have an exact chart for it. He's a very Martian character, right? Because he's a young man. He's very good looking, very like Adonis. And he's opposing, right? Diametrically opposed to Pluto. And Pluto is the god of the dead, right? The underworld. I don't know how much more plutonic you could get than a health insurance CEO who makes his millions by denying other people health care and effectively killing them and effectively deciding who lives and dies. That's very plutonic. So the Mars-Pluto opposition, just this whole saga, we're going to see something come out about it, probably when they oppose on the 2nd. And then Mars is going to go back into Cancer, where he is in his detriment. No, sorry, where he is in his fall. I apologize. And things will get, Mars and Leo is very showy. Mars and Leo it's let's take action, let's be bold. Mars in Cancer is more enclosed, right? Cancer has this protective shell around it. And then the first opposition was actually from Cancer to Capricorn. That was before Pluto ingressed into Aquarius. This is the second opposition when Mars is in retrograde. And then the third opposition will come after Mars has finished his retrograde in Cancer and then come back out into Leo as he's picking up steam and getting ready to leave the retrograde shadow. Yeah, so this story is far from complete, right, on this whole thing. I don't know what we'll see on the 2nd or around there when Mars is exact, but my eyes are definitely going to be on the adjuster story. Other things that we've got going on, so we have Lilith conjunct the South Node in early Libra, and then Neptune, the North Node in early Aries. The nodes are about to change signs, right? So this is one of the first of all of the changes that are going to happen in 2025. So we have the nodes changing signs. We have Neptune changing signs. We have Uranus changing signs from Taurus into Gemini. We have Saturn eventually moving from Pisces into Aries. And of course, Jupiter changes signs every day. Every year. So every single one of the outer planets is going to be changing signs as well as the nodes. So the nodes change signs about every year and a half. So they're going to be moving from North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, into North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. What we have leading up to that is this conjunction between Lilith, and I use what's called osculating Lilith. So this is the one that moves around the most, and so you might notice that this Lilith is a little bit different. If you're looking at your astrology software, your Lilith might actually be up in Scorpio, somewhere around this neighborhood. There's 3 different ways of calculating the position of Lilith, and I use the wildest one because I think that's the like she's the dark, unknowable feminine. Like, why would we try to average her out or smooth off, soften the edges? And yeah, Lilith is that like dark, unknowable, vengeful, feminine, right? The energy of like revenge is associated with Lilith, but that's also on our south node, like our collective south node right now in Libra. Libra being the sign of diplomacy, being the sign of making peace, negotiations, relationships, yes, but the way that our relationships require compromise. The south node is saying maybe it's time to stop making nice. Maybe it's kind of time to stop saying, oh, it's okay, we'll figure it out, right? Excuse me. Yeah, it's the South Node is saying, like, let's let go of that. This is the time for action. This is the time for boldness. It's the time for starting something. It's the time for picking a fight. And that is the energy that we've been in. And now we're going to move into this energy of the South Node will be in Virgo and the North Node will be in Pisces. Moving out of this phase of let's let go of diplomacy and let's let go of like negotiations and making peace with the enemy, which we know is not really going to be making peace with us. Look at that Pluto, that CEO doesn't give a fuck about you, right? He does not care, and we need to make them care. And so then when the nodes shift signs, we're going to have the South Node in Virgo, which is planning and methodical and preparation and detail oriented. And then we're going to move into Pisces. With the North Node, we'll move into Pisces, which is sublime, dissolution, the like merging one with everything, where Virgo is very grounded and very practical and likes to plan and make lists. Pisces just says, let's just go with the flow and we'll just figure it out as we go. We don't need a plan. Where we're going, we don't need plans. This is going to be a very interesting shift, and the nodes are going to shift signs on the 11th, I believe. Double check that. Yes, on the 11th I can get the exact time. The nodes will move into Pisces and Virgo on Saturday the 11th at 3 p.m., 3:01 p.m. Pacific time. And that is it's a slow shift, right? So we won't feel it like at that moment, or maybe you will, but that's when it's going to start, like the collective vibe is going to shift and we're going to start being less of this, go get them, fuck it now. Like absolutely individual, has to get done now, fire starter, Aries things, into more of the spiritual, what's it all for? What's the point? Why are we fighting? What are we fighting for? Whereas Aries is just let's fight. Pisces is okay, but what are we fighting for? And this is going to be the lead up to, I think, one of the biggest astrological stories of 2025, which is going to be Saturn and Neptune coming into Aries and meeting actually at the Aries point, which is the first degree, so 0 degrees of Aries. We've actually never seen this happen as far back as recorded history goes. Saturn and Neptune have met in Aries before, but never at the Aries point. And they actually very rarely meet in Aries. And I think the last time, I'd have to go back to my notes, but then because I don't have it handy and I don't want to make you wait while I go look it up. But I think the last time that Saturn and Neptune met up in Aries was in like the year 555. For some reason, that's sticking in my head. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, to say the least. And interestingly enough, that was a Pluto and Aquarius era. Yeah, that is this transition where we have, and after the North Node moves into Pisces, it's going to meet up with Neptune, and that is going to be like North Node, Neptune, Pisces, those 3 things together. We're going to experience some collective spiritual like unfolding that I think some of us have seen coming, but other people are just going to be completely blindsided by it. Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces, very at home. They have a shared set of things that Neptune and Pisces get along with, being spirituality, looking beyond the 3D, everything having to do with ways that our reality is merely constructed and deconstructing that. They both have a very refined artistic palette. So this is the energy we've been in for the Neptune and Pisces era, and that's all about to come to a head as Neptune meets the North Node in Pisces, and that will be over the next few months. Let's see, other things on this, and this isn't the exact new moon chart, so I can go forward, and our new moon is at 2:26. So we'll just, that went to AM, of course. Yeah, we'll go forward. Yeah, so this is the new moon. So at 2:26 p.m. my time, Pacific time, the moon will be in the eighth house. Very nice and dreamy. The new moon is in the eighth house. So that'll, for if you're in my location, this will change depending on where in the world you are, but this will give the energy of the next lunar cycle. And look at all the things it's talking to. We have a square to Lilith. We have a quintile to Vesta. We have an opposition to Sirius. We have an inconjunct to Aldebaran. And we have a semi-square, or sesquisquare, sorry, to Uranus. Lots of different things that this lunation is talking to. And I would recommend looking at your chart and seeing what it's talking to in your own constellation as well. Yeah, I think that's what I had to say today, right now. Oh, the other thing we see with this chart, obviously this is again particular to my location, but we have Jupiter on the ascendant, magnifying things, right? Bringing things, taking whatever's there and inflating it, making it bigger. And Jupiter, this is everybody, right? Jupiter is conjunct Aldebaran and will be coming even closer to conjunction with Aldebaran as it completes its retrograde phase. Probably making an exact conjunction, but I would have to look at my ephemeris, and that's right here. So let's do it. So we're in 2024, but we're going into 2025, and so we're looking for Jupiter. It actually will not, so it's going to go direct on February 3rd at 11 degrees Gemini. So it's not going to exact that conjunction to Aldebaran, but it's very close. And so then it's also exactly opposite Antares because those two planets sit exactly opposite each other in the sky. So yeah, interesting energies there. We'll talk a lot more about Uranus and the ways that Uranus and Gemini are going to transform our world in another little update, but that is worth noting that, again, here in my location in Seattle, the degree of Gemini, okay, this is at 12 degrees Gemini. So the critical region of Gemini, especially for Uranus, if we look at historically, if we look at the USA Sibley chart, so that's like the canonical birth chart for the United States. If we look at the charts for the start of the Civil War, and the chart for World War II, using like the D-Day invasion as our kind of World War II marker, the ninth, like 9 Gemini up to 10 kind of is the critical area of Gemini that we see a lot of important things happen, right, with Uranus. That's a place to keep an eye on. That'll come in 2027. So we've got plenty of time to warm up to that. Yeah, let's see. Anything else jump out at me, or is that enough for now? Let's go back to right now. Mars-Pluto series is leaving the party. Yeah, I think that might be what I wanted to share right now. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section below, or you can DM me on Instagram at Cosmic Abundance, or email me. Thanks. Have a great day.